You were talking just before about this, which one, and shall I go, and I might not go, but I want to go, and
Yes.
all of that stuff was going on for you.
Yeah.
And so, we could continue with that part if you would like. It's entirely up to you.
A wee bit maybe, because I have the last few days I've been thinking about why it's such a big thing. Obviously, it's a big thing for me that I'm finally doing my art, and I feel like there's this whole other side of myself that hasn't been fed and nurtured, and suddenly is there. But why is this such a big thing? And I realised that church circles are so familiar for me. But I'm not saying there isn't a challenge there, or that I have to work hard to write a sermon, or there is an effort that goes into anything I do. But it's a very safe and protected and familiar set of circumstances, if you like, when in those circles. But I feel in the art circles completely exposed, and it's totally different. And everyone is lovely. Don't get me wrong. In my art group, so kind, so encouraging. And nobody kind of judges, and there's some really, really good stuff there, but you never hear anything but encouragement, from people. It's not competitive in that sense, from some really, really good ones. But there is the sense in which you are completely exposed. And I think it's left me feeling quite vulnerable in a way, because I can't hide. In church, and I know it sounds an awful thing to say, but up to a point I can hide. I can hide in the familiarity, perhaps.
Maybe also in your expertise, because you've done it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. It's very familiar.
Yeah.
And it's very safe in that sense, because you know it.
Yeah.
But when we go into a new arena, it's a whole different ballgame.
Definitely.
And when it's new, our critic is really, really, really.
Oh, it's terrible. It's really bad. It's just really struggling to switch it off at the moment, or tone it down, But at the same time, going into this completely different arena, if you like, but it feels very liberating too. And I've got the two things going side by side. The one is feeling liberating. I'm feeling, this is me, and I want to do this. And it doesn't matter if, some folk do sell their work at exhibitions, whatever. I'm not bothered about selling my work and having exhibitions. I just want to do it. I want to paint. I want to draw. Because I feel it's a part of me that I knew is there, but I've never really nurtured or encouraged, or, and finally that part of me is getting a voice, I guess.
You've moved into a slightly new arena in that you signed up for this workshop, and suddenly, everyone's talking about advanced and not beginners, and
and
it's
going to be a big piece of work, so it's not even a little one that I can hide away in, hide away in the corner with my little, I've got to take big brushes and just be ready to, which part of me is really looking forward to. Because I mean, the early things I did with you when I first started doing things was, I went big, and I really loved just going crazy with it, and building up layers, and that's actually that is exactly what we'll be doing. Just realised
you have done this before.
Pennies dropped. That's exactly what we'll be doing.
Absolutely.
But it's that feeling exposed, and everyone's, I said, they're all encouraging and glad that I'm doing it, because I think in the beginners group that I'm in, some people have been in the beginners group for a couple of years, so I think they found their comfort zone. I'm not meaning this in a critical way.
No, not at all.
It depends why you go. They found they're comfortable with it, and they're enjoying it, and they're sticking with it.
Yes.
Whereas I've kind of stepped out of, or stepped beyond it already, in the sense of not being any better. I don't mean that, because
you're stretching yourself.
But I'm stretching myself, and I want to. I really want to.
And I think scary.
It's scary.
It's exciting. I guess your nervous system's very, very busy.
Yeah. It's all of those things. Yeah. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting.
Very exciting. Nerve-wrackingly exciting.
Nerve-wrackingly exciting. I mean, this is me spent pretty well. This is Thursday, so yeah, almost a full week. Just trying to settle on the picture before I can. But then I know what I'm like once I focus this afternoon, you know, whereas some folk might need the full week to do these preliminary sketches. I'll go to hyperfocus. I'll just do it this afternoon.
Yeah, you'll come up with the goods.
Yeah,
and you'll probably love it.
Yeah, because actually the tutor tested me out the other week. We're all doing this, what do you call it, ink and wash, or something you call it.
All right.
It's watercolor and ink, drawing it with the ink. And I loved that class, really enjoyed that one. And he could see I was enjoying it, but most people, including me, were taking quite a long time to do. And he set me personally, he set this little test and I said, right, 5 minutes. I want you to, and he offered me about 3 postcards. Pick one. I want you to draw that, and do the ink drawing, not taking the pen off the paper. And you say, and you got 5 minutes. And I did it in 5 minutes. It's the best one I've done.
Fantastic. Have you got it with you?
Not to hand.
Oh, I'd love to see it. If you want to send me a picture, I'd love to see it.
I mean, having said that, now maybe I've psyched it up too much. I mean, by my standards, it's.
I would love to see it, Jackie. Isn't it amazing how we talk about something that we've loved doing and we feel excited about it, and then as soon as someone shows interest, it's like, oh, it's not that good. It's not good enough to show anyone.
No, I've got lots of art stuff laying around, but I think my art bag's somewhere. I don't know.
Sounds like you're really, really immersing yourself in your art again.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've got lots of arty things around you. And is this the room you usually paint in?
Sorry?
Is this the room that you usually paint in?
No, I've got got a room behind this one, which actually is kind of study, come art room, come hobby room. But I've made such a mess of it that it's not currently usable. I am when I get time, I'm gradually reclaiming that room.
Lovely.
It's 18 months. When I got back from Mum's and I brought all the stuff back with me, it all dumped, all her paperwork, all my paperwork.
Yeah.
When I came back with the cat, and the cat's lizard trays in there, and then because she was so unsettled, she peed on the carpet, and which all these things. So the room, as I said, has become unusable, but I'm little by little I'm reclaiming it. So
sounds like it might be a bit of a, don't know if this is right, Jackie, but might be a bit of a grief room. All your mum's stuff got put in there. The cat came from mum, didn't? Is that right?
Yes, yeah. It doesn't feel like that, funnily enough, because it was all mum's art stuff and people that went in there.
Yeah.
All my downstairs sitting room that became the grief room.
Okay.
One of the first things I did was put a load of her framed paintings on the wall.
Right.
And I'm not normally, I mean, I do have knickknacks around, but I'm not a great ornament person. But I brought back quite a lot of ornaments of hers that meant something.
Absolutely.
And then I didn't know what to do with them. And so for quite a while, I wouldn't really use the living room. And it had a horrible atmosphere. And that definitely was.
The grief room.
But that's changed now. As I found places for things and stored things and went through things and was just more able to. I haven't felt that about the room upstairs. It's more that everything, the room behind me, it's more that everything's everywhere.
But you're gradually working through it and making it back into your art.
I didn't like really having the cat litter tray through there, but it's just that whenever she came to stay, that's where she was used to her tray being. But it feels, investing that time and energy in that room feels like investing in me, because I want it to be more of an art room than a study, actually.
Absolutely. The art stuff's really, really coming back, and it feels like it's what you want to do. You love it.
Yeah, I do.
And you missed out for a while. You lost it for a while, and now it's back.
Yes. Yeah.
And in a different way.
Yeah.
You're going out to these classes, and learning and connecting.
And I think it's the going out that's been really good for me, because so much of everything I've done before has just been at home in my own little space, and generally nobody's really seen what I've done or anything like that.
Yes.
And just being able to hide away and do it. But this, I can express it, but there's something else about what it says to yourself, to me, that I'm making a commitment to it in going and joining class.
Yeah, being seen.
Yes, yeah.
Really
But
being seen, and it feels like it stretches you.
Yeah, and I thought this was more of an art club, and it is, but also there's a lot of tuition that goes on as well, which has been lovely, because I didn't realise how much I wanted that. But it's also making that commitment, because obviously it's fairly cheap, but I have to pay for it. And there's something about I'm making that commitment to myself, to do this, and I'm putting it out there. And I've had to, go back to church folk and say, don't ask me to do anything on a Friday morning, because Friday morning is untouchable.
Sacred.
It's sacred, yes. And they're respecting that on the whole when they remember. So all of that feels, before I might have said to myself, I think, well, it's not that important, other things come first. But it's like I'm saying, no, actually, this is important. And now not only have I got the Friday, but I've signed up for a Saturday morning workshop as well. So.
And is the Saturday one the acrylic, the big acrylic one?
Yes, yeah.
How do you feel now when we talk about that? Just test inwards for a minute and notice.
Yeah, I feel good, actually. Yeah.
Good.
Even though all week I've been thinking, oh, I'll just give up the place to someone else. It's too much too soon. Blah blah blah. All the rest. All the things. I know I'm going to do it.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, and I think the big thing was because I pulled that book out, and when I set up my laptop and sat here, I started flicking through the book, and so I saw the pictures, and again, just noting, not intellectually, but how I felt. I thought, there's 2 or 3 pictures in there that potentially I want to do, not knowing that one was there. That
the one that your mum did.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all when I picked it out.
Really, amazing.
Yeah.
Intuitive, like your intuition was giving you somehow.
And I mean, we were so alike. It's not surprising that a similar range of pictures would appeal to me. That's not at all surprising, but I am surprised to see that picture that is on my wall downstairs in that book.
Yeah,
but a different version of it.
Yeah, and you'll do your version of whatever you do. It'll be yours.
Yeah. So I'll choose the exact one this afternoon, and I'll do those preliminary sketches.
Fantastic.
So I can show to my tutor tomorrow. So I've done my homework.
I'm so glad that he's really being very supportive, and he seems to be wanting to help you succeed.
Yes. Yes, I mean, he didn't need to do that. It could be just, well, you'll need to bring X, X, and X, or X, Y, and Z on Saturday, and that's it.
Yeah.
But actually giving me the chance to kind of prepare for it a bit.
Yeah.
Because I think most of the other people he's done this before, this particular workshop before, because it's all new to me, but so these are people who've been before.
He sounds very welcoming of you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Nurturing.
Yes. Yes.
Sounds like it'll be a safe place to go.
Yeah.
And stretch yourself.
Yeah. And I'm just a beginner. just a beginner having fun.
It feels safe, I guess, to say that.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're excited.
I am. But I need to not get cross with myself if I don't produce this picture.
How can you be gentle? How can you bring that love and gentleness towards yourself? Yeah.
Well, I think that thing about saying just a beginner, I'm not knocking anything I've done before. I mean, I'm a creative person. I've done a lot of sort of general artwork, but in terms of this sort of standard of art, where so people exhibit their work, sell their work, I am, by comparison, I am just a beginner. Or let's take the just out. I am a beginner.
Okay, so that makes you safer.
That actually puts in perspective for me that to not have any expectations of myself other than to enjoy it and to learn.
Good. What a great, that sounds to me like a great attitude.
If I could just hold on to that attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, could you just write those things down and keep them beside yourself, perhaps?
Yeah.
A day.